Our next act. You guys talk a lot. You're like on ecstasy, right? Yes. Speaking of ecstasy, our next act is Mr. Cameron Garrity. His piece is entitled Left. This piece was developed last summer at the O'Neill in Ronnie Burkett's text creation strand, which I hear is quite rigorous and involves many sandwiches. He would like to thank his 7th grade health teacher and Meg Ryan for the script's inspiration. He's being helped out by He's being helped by Melissa Dunphy with music, ladies and gentlemen, with his piece Left. Please welcome Cameron Garrity.
Close your eyes, have no fear. The monster's gone, I'm on the run. Well, here it is. That part of life every sock expects. In a box on the way to some dumb thrift store. All part of the great spin cycle of life. I guess I just never thought I'd be alone for the journey. I mean, sure, I have my friends. That boot over there, a pair of jeans, a frame with no picture in it for some reason. But they're not family. My brother, I wouldn't expect you to understand any of this. You see, socks expect a life of toil. Your sweaty feet press up against us day after day. Yeah, I bet for most of you people, we're just an afterthought. Something you could toss away all willy-nilly. Not my brother. He lived to serve something greater. Jordan eventually blamed the dog for my brother's death. It wasn't Gordon's fault, and he knew it. Typical human. I hope that guilt still eats away at him. His mom let me live in the top drawer with my cousins for a little while. She held out hope that my brother would eventually come back. I knew she didn't believe that Gordon story. Eventually, I got so desperate for warmth that I just tried, coupling up with another sock or two, but it wasn't the same. No. And then the real rejection started. I survived garage sales and craft show season. They wouldn't even turn me into a puppet. I'm sorry, I'm rambling on and on. It's survivor's guilt, I suppose. There were plenty of years of happiness. Jordan had plenty of socks, months and months worth, but when my brother and I got picked, it was a really special day. Jordan would take us to school with him, run in the park with him. He let us smell his garlic bread and spaghetti dinners. It was the perfect kind of love. And then the best part, he let us sleep with him. Oh, the hours and the hours stuffed in a New Balance pair of shoes was instantly forgiven the second he let us curl into bed with him. T-shirts and jeans, they get thrown into the hamper, but not us. We were in it for the long haul. When Jordan would fall asleep, we would stay up for hours and tell ghost stories to each other, me and my brother. His toes would curl inside of us, and it meant he was dreaming. We'd try and guess what was in his head that night. But then came a very different evening. Sure, it began as the same routine. Brush his teeth, comb his hair, read a book or two, and set his alarm and go to sleep. But that night, he didn't fall asleep. At first, we thought he was having a nightmare. He was just quaking and rolling around in bed. We didn't dare tell ghost stories that night. He started rolling more, and he tore his blanket off of him. The cold air abrasively hit our face. His face was red, and we didn't know what was happening. What was that pain he was feeling? Why didn't he call for his parents? He took off his pants. A body function that seemed to happen plenty of times before, finally was serving a purpose. He moaned and quaked, and then he came for my brother. If the boy had been right-handed, it could have all been different. It could have been me. He choked my brother against him and began to stroke over and over in an endless rhythm. I couldn't tell who was in more pain. Socks aren't exactly made of silk. Even the first time seemed like a ritual. How did he know to do that? What was going inside his head? Over and over again, until his whole body tingled, and a magic cycled through his veins. His toes curled inside of me and eventually relaxed. We were left alone. We sat in his bed for what seemed like hours, or maybe it was minutes. I waited for him to put the covers back on. Maybe it was all a bad dream. But then he got out of bed. He was maybe going to ask his mom to just clean him out in the laundry. Everything would be better in the morning. But he walked right to the garbage and laid my brother to rest. Why didn't he let me go with him? What good is a sock without his twin by its side? We went back to bed, and he still couldn't sleep. So he did what he always did when he couldn't sleep and turned his music box on. John Lennon began to play. I don't think the man understood the irony. So there we lay together. I was there, empty and alone. A beautiful boy's second choice. Before you go to sleep, say a little prayer. Every day, in every way, it's getting better and better. Beautiful, 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 beautiful boy.